So the assignment that's going to follow your perspective assignments is going to be one where you use your graphite pencils and graphite crayons to make a drawing much like your white objects at the beginning of the semester. In other words, you did highlights and shadows, but they were all white. They were colorless. This time I would like you to choose for objects for your attention for the drawing things that are colored, drastically different in color. In hue, which means just the name of the color, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, and also in value, the lightness and darkness of the objects. So your mission, not too impossible, is to draw these things so that they're solid, so that they have highlights and shadows, so that they have cast shadows, okay? Maybe a darkened background or just a blank background. That's up to you. As long as the main objective is fulfilled, and that is to give a sense of objects that are colored being translated into black, white, and gray. Imagine you're an old-time 35mm black and white photographer. You take a portrait, you take a landscape, you take a still life setup. All those things are going to be translated into grays, dark grays, light grays, whites, etc. So this time, you're going to try to incorporate that into your drawing. And that means that for every object that's a different color, there will be a particular set of highlights and shadows, okay? And perhaps a different kind of cast shadow depending on what colors are at the bottom. I would keep the bottom, the tabletop, fairly white or neutral. Don't get complicated in color with that, but do get complicated or at least varied in colors in perhaps three objects for you to set up in a creative still life. An example of that would be these objects that were colored jars and bottles, orange and blue and sort of blue-green. Here you see the objects, and they're at least somewhat different in their range of lights and darks, and you get a sense that if those were flicked onto full color, they would be different in color. Use your sketch pad. Again, the graphite pencils and crayons we talked about. For editing the drawings and changing the drawings, please use the hard plastic eraser and the kneaded eraser for more mopping up exercises. So that would be the next assignment, and you're welcome to get back to me via my email with any questions.